Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and today we are going to discuss the questions which we gave you in the session of nouns. There were 20 questions, one were PT level and one were mains level question. So we shall discuss all the questions that were given to you in the homework session, homework part, right? Let us start today. The discussion point is nouns, and we will discuss the 20 questions that were given to you. Fine. Let us start the noun chapter. Okay. The first question was, the flood waters caused a lot of catastrophes to the life and property of people living in that area. The flood waters caused a lot of catastrophes to the life and property of people living in that area. Okay. If you see the first part of the sentence, the flood waters. So you know it should be the flood water. So what's the difference between the flood waters and flood water? And what's the difference between waters and water? So the error is 100% in the part A. A has an error. So this is the answer. So what is waters and water? Let me tell you the difference. If I say waters, it means seas, rivers, oceans. These are waters. We can state that the waters present on earth or the waters in the entire world. Those mean river, sea, ocean. But here it's talking about the flood water. Means, and it's talking about water as a material noun, we can say, or the entity which has caused a lot of catastrophe or destruction. So the flood water caused a lot of catastrophes to the life and property of people living in that area. So error is in part A. But if we say about waters, waters is also a noun which means rivers, seas and oceans or other water bodies for that matter. Clear? So water bodies means waters, and water here is generally a kind of material noun which is represented by the flood water. You understand that? Clear? Next question. Question number 2. The milk is one of the most nutritious food that acts as a supplement to the regular food we intake. The error is in part A, which is it should be milk. Milk is a material noun. So with material nouns we don't use articles. So it should be milk is one of the most nutritious food that acts as a supplement to the regular food we intake. Clear? So it should be milk, not the milk. Moving ahead to question number 3. The mother in him got her best form and he avenged upon the killers of his daughter. Okay, see the first part. The mother in him. So we are talking about a man whose motherhood evolved. So this part is correct. The mother in him got her best form. So if we see the second part, it says got her best form and he avenged upon the killers of his daughter. So this D part is correct. C part is correct. He avenged upon the killers because we are talking about a man. But if we talk about B part, the mother in him got her best form. So this got her best form is used for the mother in him that evolved. So this is also correct. So there is no error in the sentence. Please understand this question. Very interesting question. The mother in him, it means the motherhood of that person that evolved. The mother of who was inside him that evolved and got her best form. So the mother got her best form and he avenged upon the killers. The man avenged upon the killers of his daughter. So this is no error question. Clear? So this is E. Moving ahead to question number 4. No less than 100 children were admitted to the orphanage after the state government completed the drive for educating indigent people. Indigent means poor people. If you understand this, 100 children. So children are countable, so we can count 100 children. 1, 2, 3, 4 till 100 we can count. So for 100 children, we don't use less, we use fewer. So we are talking about noun chapter, which means if we use a quantifier for children, which is a countable thing, so it should be fewer and not less. Less is used for uncountable things. For example, no less than 50 liters of water was wasted. So water is something which cannot be counted, but people or students or for that matter children can be counted. So we use fewer than, because the positive word is few, fewer and fewest. Positive, comparative fewer, superlative fewest. So if we are using than over here, it means it's a comparative degree. So the comparative word should be fewer. So no fewer than 100 children were admitted to the orphanage after the state government completed the drive for educating the indigenous people. So the error is in part A. Clear? Moving ahead to question number 5. The lion never trusted the vixen because they were the most wily creatures in the jungle. The lion never trusted the vixen. Vixen means the feminine gender of fox. So here it has been used in the sense they has been used. So it should be foxes, not vixen. The plural form of fox is foxes. The lion never trusted the foxes. We cannot use the feminine gender of fox, vixen as over here and say that the lion hated the vixen. We have to use foxes because they represents the plural form of fox. The lion never trusted the foxes because they were most wily. The most wily. Wily means what? Very intelligent and treacherous people who are very treacherous. So wily means treacherous and dishonest kind of people. Most wily creatures in the jungle. So error is in part B. B has an error. Clear? Moving ahead to question number 6. As his marriage anniversary is approaching, his sister-in-laws have decided to present him with a brilliant assortment of gifts. As his marriage anniversary is approaching, no error till now. His sister-in-laws. So this is incorrect. The plural of a compound noun, or for that matter a hyphenated noun, we will say it's a compound noun. So it should be not, the plural is not sister-in-laws, it should be sisters-in-law. Sisters-in-law. So as his marriage anniversary is approaching, his sisters-in-law, the plural is sisters-in-law and not sister-in-laws. So error is in part B. B has an error. So we'll mark B as the answer. Error is in B part. Moving ahead, question number 7. When he opened his wardrobe, he found that his pant was missing from the designated place. So pant is something which is a pair of pants. Basically, there are two entities involved in it. So it said it was a pair of pants or pants for general. P-A-N-T-S, not P-A-N-T. So when he opened his wardrobe, he found that his pants were, or his pair of pants was. His pair of pants was, or his pants was missing from the designated place. So error is in part C. So C has an error. Clear? Moving ahead. Question number 8. We had never expected him to behave in a coward manner. Okay. Coward manner in front of the attackers who came during the wee hours of the morning. Wee hours of the morning mean early morning, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m. This is the wee hours. So we had never expected him to behave in a coward manner. So see, manner is a noun. So it should be preceded by, it should not be preceded by a noun itself. Coward is a noun. So we'll use a word which is an adjective. So it should be cowardly. Cowardly manner. Cowardly is an adjective, not an adverb. So manner should be preceded by a word cowardly. So the answer should be, we had never expected him to behave in a cowardly manner. Manner is a noun, please understand. So it should be preceded by an adjective. Adjective is cowardly. Means like a coward. Please understand this. So error is in part B. Next question, question number 9. The standard of living in the cities has witnessed a lot of growing despite the ill intentions of the greedy businessmen. Okay, the standard of living in the cities is correct. No error in this. This is correct. Has witnessed a lot of growth. It should be growth, not growing. Growth. Why growth? Because growth is a noun. So we are saying a lot of growth, a lot of people. So people and growth are, for example, a lot of people, a lot of books, a lot of growth. This should be replaced by growth, not growing. Growing is incorrect. Growth should be the correct answer. A lot of growth. Okay. Despite the ill intentions of the greedy businessmen. So error is in the part B. Moving ahead. So question number 10. All of us have a bit of hate within us, however hard we try to get others opinionated through our pretentious actions. We all of us have a bit of hate within us, however hard we try to get others opinionated through our pretentious actions. Means we try to impress others by saying that we do not have hatred within us, hatred. So error is in part A, which should be hatred and not hatred. It should be hatred because the noun form is hatred. Hate is a verb. So we should use all of us have a bit of hatred. Means a little bit of hatred. A lot of growth, a bit of hatred. So these terms like a bit of, a lot of, a few of the people, the most of. So these are followed by nouns in general. Fine. So moving ahead. So error is in part A. Moving ahead. Now mains level question. There were PT level question. Now a bit of mains level question. Mains level of questions in nouns chapter. So a bit of difficult questions I would say. But let us see if we are able to solve them easily. I wish to call on Priya and Shreya's father, who is the deputy commissioner of this city. So call on. Call on means visit. I wish to visit. So call on does not mean calling somebody on phone. So I wish to call on Priya and Shreya's father, who is the deputy commissioner of this city. See, we are talking about father. Father is a singular entity over here. So we are talking about the father of these two girls, Priya and Shreya's father. So when the possession of a common thing is there, we use the apostrophe s with the later thing, latter. This is latter thing. First thing, second thing. So we'll use the possessive case, Shreya's, in the second part of it, the second one, not Priya's and Shreya's father. So possessive case is used with only one noun. So Priya's and Shreya's father, incorrect option. Priya's and Shreya father, incorrect option. Priya and Shreya father, incorrect option. Priya and Shreya father's, incorrect option. No correct replacement required. There should be no replacement. Clear? Moving ahead, question number 2. The book's cover is red in color and looks very attractive because of the texture. Okay. Book is a non-living thing, non-living entity. So we don't use possessive case with a non-living entity. So we use the cover of the book. Is there an option like that? The cover of the book. This is the answer. The cover of the book is red in color and looks very attractive because of the texture. So non-living things do not have the possessive case. Clear? Moving ahead, question number 3. Ronaldo is considered one of the best players in the world of soccer. So the bolded part is one of the best players. So one of the, few of the, some of the, many of the, little of the, not little of the, I am talking about countable things. So some of the, few of the, many of the, very few of the people. So these are followed by plural noun. One of the best players, one of the best cricketers. So this is players. So there is no error in this sentence because Ronaldo is considered one of the best players in the world of soccer. So there is no replacement required. This is the answer. Other options are wrong. One of the best players, few of the best players, some of the best players. Because it's only one entity, so it will be one of the best players. So considered the best players. This is incorrect. Not some, not few. One of the best player is incorrect because one of the best players. It should be followed by a plural noun. Clear? Moving ahead to the question number 4 of the mains level. The Indian and Chinese, the peoples, have not been into good terms with each other for quite a long time. Okay, so let us see the options. So this is 100% incorrect option because the Indian and the Chinese, the people. This is incorrect. Structurally wrong, syntactically wrong. The Indian and Chinese peoples. The Indian and the Chinese people. So this seems quite correct, but it's not the answer. I'll tell you why. The Indians and the Chinese people. So we are talking about the Indian and the Chinese people. Clear? But we are talking about the nationals, means the countrymen. So 100% peoples should be used. Not the Indian people and the Chinese people, because we are using that as the countrymen. So the Indians and the Chinese people is incorrect. This is also incorrect. These two seem to be correct option because we are talking about the national, the residents, the citizens. So it should be peoples. So option number 1 is the Indian and Chinese peoples or the Indians and Chinese peoples. So this option is incorrect. This is correct option. I'll tell you why. The Indian and Chinese peoples. So this particular term, Indian and Chinese peoples, represents the entire citizens of the two countries, and this article takes care of that. So if you say it should be the Indian and the Chinese peoples, so that would make the Indian as a separate entity and the Chinese peoples as separate entity. So we have to combine both of them, means we are telling about the nationals, the citizens, the residents of the two countries. So the Indian and Chinese peoples, have not been into good terms with each other for quite a long time. So this is the correct answer. I'll tell you why. If you see the other options, this is the best option available. If you see option number 4, the Indians and Chinese peoples. So it means we could have written the Indians and the Chinese. The Indians and the Chinese are not in terms with each other, good terms with each other. So that's what we have written over here, the Indian and Chinese. And we have added peoples, no problem in that. The Indians and the Chinese are not in good terms with each other, could have been a better answer, but we have this option over here, the Indian and Chinese peoples. Clear? So this is the answer. Option number 1. Question number 5. I think I have a 500 rupees notes in my wallet. So this is 500 rupee. So this is when a definite numeral adjective, precedes a term like rupees or anything that represents, for example, if I say a 500-year-old building. So here the word is note. This is a noun, note, and we have to qualify it with this kind of term. For example, 500 rupees notes or 300-year-old building. So this is the last term which is there, rupees. It is not written in apostrophe form. It's written like a 500 rupee note, a 300-year-old building. So this particular qualifier that we are talking about, 500 rupee note, or for that matter 10,000-year-old building. So this noun is qualified by this entire term. This should not be in possessive case. That is for sure. So see the options. A 500 rupee, I think I have a 500 rupee note. So this is the answer. A 500 rupee note. A 500 rupees is incorrect. A 500 rupees is incorrect. 500 rupees is incorrect. No replacement required is incorrect. So the answer is this. So I think I have a 500 rupees apostrophe was given. So it should be a 500 rupee note. For example, a 300-year-old furniture, a piece of furniture. So that should be without apostrophe. Clear? Moving to the next question, question number 6. For 1/3 of the fathers in the world, this is common error. For 1/3 of the fathers in the world, the cost of managing the educational expenses of their children is much higher than earning life for their family. So 100%, this is incorrect. So it should be livelihood or living for that matter. So it will be better livelihood, to earn livelihood for their family, not life. You cannot earn life. You can earn livelihood or living, not even living. Living is basically the standard in which the maintenance which you do about your lifestyle. So it should be livelihood, means 2 square meals per day. That will be livelihood. So earning livelihood for their family, not life. You cannot earn life for someone. So this is D has an error. So it should be the livelihood. Clear? Moving ahead to question number 7. A teacher has to perform diligently and execute the training such that the inputs from all student of class can add value to the lecture. All the students, it should be all the students of the class, because all is always followed by a plural entity. All is a qualifier which represents a plural noun. All people, all students, all men, and especially when students of the class, So it should be preceded by an article there. When the students of the class, well, wait. A teacher has to perform diligently and execute the training such that the inputs from all students of class. Okay, here it should be the also. All the students of the class can add value to the lecture. Okay, so this was the major error. All students of class. We need to add article over here also, of the class, because the structure is like all the students of the class. This is the correct structure. Clear? So major error was in part C, but we also found that here the article the should be inserted. No problem in that. Clear? Okay, moving ahead. Question number 8. The sceneries of Shimla, okay, this is the error in part A, attracts the attention of people from all around the country throughout the year. So it should be scenery of Shimla, scenery. Because scenery does not have a plural form, sceneries. Similarly, stationaries is not the correct form. Poetries is not the correct form. So scenery, confectionery, stationery, poetry, scenery. The scenery of Shimla attracts. This also helps us because attracts is something which is a singular verb. So the scenery of Shimla, error is in part A. Question number 9. I wish to spend a lot of time, times, it's written, it should be time with my family because it has been ages since we interacted in such a congenial manner. Congenial means friendly, good, conducive, in a conducive environment. Congenial means very friendly. So I wish to spend a lot of time, not a lot of times. Although a lot of is followed by plural number, but here time is uncountable. So it should be a lot of time. Error is in part A. Clear? Moving ahead to question number 10. The police has been looking for a Shamsher Singh for the last 25 days only to achieve disappointment. Okay. First of all, it's written a Shamsher Singh. You'll feel that Shamsher Singh is a proper noun. So why to use an article a before it? Let me tell you, when a particular unknown person, a Shamsher Singh, a Balbir Singh, a Raju, we can use article a before it to denote the unknown person. For example, the police are looking for a man called Rahul or a Rahul in that locality. So the error is in the police have been. This error it should be have. The police have been because police is plural. So the police have been looking for a Shamsher Singh. This is correct. No error in this part. A Shamsher Singh is correct because it shows the unknown for the last 25 days only to achieve disappointment. So error was in part A. So this is done. Okay, clear? So students, I hope you enjoyed the session a lot. Thank you so much.
ஃபாரின்ல படிச்சாதான் பெரிய ஆளாக முடியும்னு இல்ல, நம்ம ஒரு வெராண்டால படிச்சாலே போதும். VerandaRace வங்கி மற்றும் அரசு தேர்வுகளுக்கான ஆன்லைன் பயிற்சி.